Flashback.
Oh yeah, we got one more thing.
Yes.
So just from us at Weebs of the Shore.
Wait, what?
Wait, is this why you didn't want
Wait,
to move
what?
these boxes? What the fuck?
One eternity later.
Hey everyone, welcome to TalkGA, our podcast on anything and everything Grand Archive. I'm your host, Mark from Solar Games, and joining me are my co-hosts, Eva and Fome. All right, so first up, always we start with the question, how are you this week?
Not sick. Woohoo! Yeah!
Take that, COVID and the flu.
And then COVID again, and then the flu again. How many times have you been sick this week? It's like insane.
Basically was sick for the entire month because like leading up to like Ascent Ontario, I was sick right after ALC launch, then got better just in time for Ascent, then got sick again, and finally not sick again.
We can finally film this goddamn episode.
You were sick for a little bit of that too, right?
Yeah, I got COVID. COVID for the first time right after
first time COVID, man.
which is I'm kind of happy
It's
about.
kind of like death, yeah. And I'm doing great. I did not get sick. I've been dying to make this episode. We just can't do it because everyone's getting
every
sick.
week Mark's like, "Are you ready to record?" And then like,
We're like, yeah. Oh, actually.
Yep. So before we get started with the show, I do want to kind of run down what we're going to talk about today. So our topics for today are going to be recapping the ambassador
What?
stuff.
that happened the
What
last
happened?
time.
What happened? I don't know what happened. We're going to talk about ALC, just kind of like recapping the launch, plus what has actually happened in competitive play already, right? We're going to talk MRC unveiling, which happened at Ascent Ontario. And then finally this week, we will be getting some viewer questions. So get excited for that.
God, sorry.
The mailbags are full, okay? The Hasty Messenger isn't even able to deliver anymore. So our mailboxes are kind of full. But we'll try to get through the backlog a little bit and then get ahead on questions. So without further ado, let's jump right into our quick hits for the month episode. So first of all, Frostsworn Paladin promo giveaway. Do you want to give a shout out to our winner, Freedom X15? Thanks. Pretty active in the community, right? By the way, X15 is like one of my favorite Gundams too. So I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Wow, you are a boomer.
I'm old school. Yeah. So really funny story about this, right? Normally the winner, we just ship the card to them. But I'm like, I looked at where this person lives. And he was like, okay, dude. I'm like, hey, congrats, you won. He's like, okay, can you ship to New Zealand? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, and then I look up the postage. I'm like, it's $30? The card is $40, right? So I'm like, can I just buy you another one? So I bought him another card in New Zealand. I found a buyer or found a seller.
You had to ship it. You had to ship it to him. Come on.
No.
We got to show our dedication to the fans.
No. Here's what I did. It was better.
Solar game scamming again.
Yeah, Solar Games always scamming the card. The card is now in my possession, right?
This is like short selling, basically.
Hey.
Like I'll buy it locally. And give it to you.
Here's what happened. I bought a copy, or I literally went on to like the marketplace. Like, okay, weird request. I need a Frostsworn Paladin promo, and for it, hopefully you're in New Zealand. And then so I literally got a seller who's local to this guy, who's so local to this guy. They meet at the LGS. So he sold him to.
Here. This is from Solar Games.
Yeah,
Funny.
it was faster delivery. It was guaranteed delivery. There's no lost packages, whatever, in the ocean, right?
That's true.
He got the card
That's
faster,
true.
and then we didn't have to give a bunch of money to like New Zealand postage.
But what if they wanted the one you touched?
With your DNA on it.
Hey, I did offer like Ascent Ontario, Worlds, like Nats in Singapore. I was like, okay, like I'm really reaching here. I'm not going to New Zealand or Australia, but Nats in Singapore, no. So that's the best I could do. But hey, we got the card in the hand. I think that's fair. So yeah.
Congrats again.
And I get to scam another card. It's great.
Wait, you got to keep the card.
I bought a Frostsworn Paladin for myself. We shipped one to the winner.
All right, Mark.
Double dealing, Mark.
Guys, viewers at home, do the math. I did not scam here. Please stop. This is reputational damage. I'm gonna sue you guys. Hear from my lawyer soon. Okay, so secondly, we do want to highlight some beginner resources that are available in the community. So
Yes.
there's a cheat sheet of some sort.
Yes.
Wow, it's
Oh,
right here.
whoa.
We have a cheat sheet right here.
It's laminated.
And it's laminated. Thank you to Vinstein for doing that. So Cherry, Vinstein, and I made this cheat sheet. It has a bunch of things on the front, like what is a unit? What is an object? And then on the back, we have all the keywords in the game. We'll link to this where you can download it and print it if you like. I had the idea to do this because like going to locals, I was like, I feel like I don't want to have to ask a question every time I don't know what a keyword means. So I don't know. Hopefully this is a resource that people will enjoy.
And recently, like a lot of local stores have been hosting learn to plays. So there's a huge influx of new players, and people are like, pretty confused on a lot of the new terminology.
Yeah.
So we just had these lying around. It's really helpful for our events. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Next topic is going to be the ban and restricted announcement that just came out. No new Proxius Vault card, guys. But pretty huge, I think. Crystal of Empowerment is now banned. It's the third card ever banned. Why all the hate?
Dude, get all those Merlin cards out of here.
I was like, when I saw this, I was like, why don't you just ban Merlin 3? At this point, like, it's just a target, right?
That would have been even better, but I'll take the crystal ban.
Okay. So you think it's necessary? You think it's a...
Dude, the number of times I've been fogging Merlin, and then like the turn, I'm like, I just need to fog one more time and they're dead. But they're like, oh, crystal, pop it off, fireball, double fireball, you're dead. That doesn't feel good.
Okay, that's fair.
So hopefully it slows them down a little bit.
I'm also not really sure if this was the best way to slow down Merlin. I mean, I also agree that Merlin needs a nerf, but I don't know. I kind of lament that it also shuts down a lot of other decks that need support.
Yep, you can't ban her anymore.
Tamer.
Tamer, okay, yep, Tamer. Rye, but maybe that doesn't matter too much. Everyone hates Rye anyway, apparently. Like, I don't know what's going on.
But the Impassioned Tutor tech now. Oh, God, yeah.
Bring that back again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, yeah. It's a card, it should see some play. 2 new cards have actually appeared in Category 1. They are Erupting Rhapsody and Scepter of Lumina.
Boo, get that out of there.
Yeah, okay, so here, water players, please tell me. Scepter of Lumina, is it parasitic?
No, it's a good card, but like Eva doesn't even run Scepter of Lumina anymore.
I feel like a fake water player now. Well, it's actually kind of interesting that on the article they wrote something about like, oh, we want to make water players not think of it as an auto include. While I'm like, I don't play it anymore.
Yeah, like it's never been an auto include.
Well, no, it was. But then now I've played it enough where I'm like, it kind of feels better for my deck in particular to play without it.
Because of the tempo?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too. I have to play it because my whole deck revolves around looping levels and killing you with Scepter of Lumina. But a lot of the times, if I'm playing against aggro, I do not have time to play a Scepter unless it's a water mirror, and then at least I can keep tempo.
Get it faster, yeah. So what about Erupting Rhapsody? Anything to say about that?
I'm not sure that either of those cards should be on the watch list personally, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a...
I'm surprised Erupting is there too, to be honest. I don't know why it's there. I didn't think that was that used. Fireball
It's just so like impressive to me how resilient the fire cards and graveyard strategy seems to be, despite like, Nullifying Lantern is supposed to just like wreck the strategy, right? But every big tournament, like another Erupting deck, or a Fiery Momentum deck, Rending Flames deck, like wins like, top 8, top 4 or first place.
Yep.
And so it's like, I'm pretty surprised to be honest. But I'm kind of glad too, because people were so worried about like the fracturized nullifying tech, and the fire players are like, oh, we're never gonna be able to deal with it now. Now they have Dustlight Communion.
That happened to me at locals yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was playing against Josh, who was doing Erupting. I fracturized my lantern. I was like, it's safe, and it was safe for like many turns. Yeah. And then eventually he Dusklight Communion, banished an Astra card.
What was his Astra card that he banished?
I think it was Astrolabe.
Boring. I would have banished Arizona 3.
That'd be fun.
That'd be funny, yeah.
The counter one too.
Yeah.
Just the
should we read that card so that people who are audio only aren't too left in the dark?
Yeah. Hey, it's really simple. This card costs 3. And effectively, basically, it's like this. You cast a spell, you just banish your Astro card, and it kills something that's a Fantasia, which is now that Fracturized Lantern. That's why it's useful. Okay, cool. Switching on to the next topic, Ascent Ontario. Let's do a quick recap. Matt G did win the Ascent Ontario, our rank 1 champion.
With Erupting.
Did he just literally put Erupting on the ban list ban list?
Like single-handedly?
I don't know. Anyways, he did win with Erupting Merlin. So that was pretty cool to see that deck kind of get revived. Also, we on the NorCal had 2 champions. Yay! Yeah. Sean and Christian, representing NorCal, did also top 8 for the event as well. So did really good. Yeah, did really well.
Yeah, NorCal had a really strong showing on the day 2 tables.
Yeah, I think we had like 6 NorCal people in the top 32. 6 or more. There might be more that I didn't know about. Which is like pretty good.
Yeah.
What is that ratio even?
Represent.
Definitely, yeah. NorCal showed up. Not just that, but Sean had the best record going to day 2, the best record going to eliminations. The only game Sean lost was the one that actually mattered and knocked him out to like 3rd. Yeah.
I'll never forgive Sean for intentionally draw day 1.
He was undefeated, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll draw." Like,
he was offering draws to everybody because basically we were at the booth and we were like, okay, so Sean is undefeated. Then there was a bunch of X1s, right? And then there was a bunch of X2s because Sean basically went through and defeated the other like X1s again.
Yeah.
And it was basically he was gonna get matched up to an X2. So he could just offer a draw. Does not matter.
He was 10-0, and then I was like, "Are you gonna go 11-0?" I was like, "No, I'm just gonna ID."
Yeah,
it would have been legendary.
Boring. Still
Sean
cool,
did really well, and I think it was a very surprising deck because I didn't see anyone else really. I saw some Fire Xanders, but not quite as aggressive as this one. So it was very fast. There were some, very very technical cards that were put in that deck to get it to speed up even a little bit more. And that I think made all the difference. It got under almost every single deck.
Rococo
is really good. Yeah. I remember Sean was sitting in the hotel lobby saying that he thinks Rococo should get banned right now.
It's so busted.
He was
really
like,
good.
he was like, hey, we should ban this card. It's really good.
Or you should buy every copy of that card right now.
Who's to say that Solar Games doesn't have a 100 card position into Rococo? Another really fun thing that happened at Ascent Ontario. Actually, yeah, all these things happened on stream too. 43 damage, Tony.
That was my favorite moment.
Jimmy's deck. Yeah. Also, one of my, I think probably, definitely my favorite moment as well. I almost wanted to get like a gigantic sword and smash the caster desk in half when this happened.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, so this is how it went down on stream. Jimmy is playing Fire Domain Tenoris, Creation's Will.
Yeah.
And so I think he had 5 domains out.
Yep.
With the Eternal Kingdom, which gives all your domains reservable. So now you all can like tap them as mana racks. He gets to level 3, taps out, plays Assemble the Ancients, which is blow up all your domains and create that many automatons.
Yep.
And then put that many counters on your tokens.
Yeah.
Such a fun
But
card.
because it's a Tenoris Creation's Will, instead of getting automatons, they're all swords.
Yeah.
And so you get a bunch of 3/1 swords, and then you put 5+1 counters on all your 3/1 swords.
Correct.
So now they're all 8/1 swords.
That's right.
So then he swings, sacrifices 5 8/1 swords onto 1 sword, and gets like the 43 damage instant kill on stream.
Crazy.
Yep.
And I think he said it was the biggest sword swing he's actually pulled off using that deck.
Yeah.
And it was on stream.
I kept on checking in with him too. I believe 43 was still the highest number.
Yeah, and it was like against Fire Merlin too.
Yeah.
And you're just like looking at the stream, and Fire Merlin's like, "That's 43."
Yeah.
Oh, I can't resolute that.
I remember the Fire Merlin showed the resumes this is all I got.
Dude, if you had Water Barrier, block every damage but 1, that'd be crazy. That feels so good.
Yeah.
I would just let them hit me if I were playing Water and had Water Barrier, because like you do all this shit and then I'm just gonna Water Barrier you like or like Song of Frost.
There's a lot of ways.
Oh
to
yeah.
The deck is and this is it's a fun deck, but yes, the deck has a lot of weakness in the water meta that we're kind of in right now. It makes it really hard because everyone's gonna carry a Song of Frost to kind of just like, oh, we're gonna see this to the end and then sorry, I'm gonna stop it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Freezing Hell's also back. We're so back, baby.
Yeah, water's really good right now.
It's a glass cannon deck, but it's so entertaining.
It's so entertaining to watch, yeah, for sure. It's just because everyone's anticipating like, what is the number? How many is going to build? And nobody runs domain removal, so you kind of like seeing it happen, right? And the acceleration with the domain that generates mana is like insane, right? Because he just gets almost extra cards having domains on the board. Yeah, cool. Okay, so Mr. Fogxander.
Yeah, I was playing in the main event.
So I was so excited to have you on stream, right? Before you start losing.
I'm sorry. I failed.
So this guy goes 2-0, right? 2-0, and I'm like, we gotta put him on. He's 2-0 right now. Let's get him on the stream. Or was it, you were 1-0 or 2-0?
No, so after round 1, I had 2-0'd the Fire Merlin player with Fogxander, which is like my worst matchup.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I'm doing kind of popping off.
Yeah. So we put him on stream. He kills the next opponent, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently that's it. That was but before we talk about negativity, okay, tell us about Fogxander.
Yeah, like I've always been playing this as a meme, and Fogxander is just you use Scepter of Lumina to deal 4 damage every time you level, and then once you get to level 3, you're playing Xander Korhazi's Chosen, which is Spell Shroud and Stealth until your next turn. Mm-hmm. So if you keep looping that, you'll just be Stealth and Spell Shroud for the rest of the game. Use Innervate Knowledge to level back down, then the following turn you level back up. You can use like DGs to keep doing it too. And so on stream, it pretty much did work, and but you didn't like. I felt like some of the plays you were like, why is he doing that? And I'm like, oh, see, you don't know the intricacies of this deck.
But you didn't actually get to play any Innervate Knowledges on stream.
No,
right?
I actually, that game's all ended before I could actually.
Wow, you just killed him too fast.
Innervate Knowledge, and I also did misplay pretty heavily in game 2 and got a warning on stream, which was pretty demoralizing.
What was the warning?
I attacked a unit when Tenoris had taunt. Mm-hmm. And both of us failed to catch it.
Oh.
So it was a failure to maintain game state.
Okay.
So like a few turns later, the judge came and was like, by the way, you weren't supposed to make that attack. It felt kind of bad. I think I forgot to draw for my own juggle knives.
Oh
I think so too, yeah. There was like I think there's one, yeah. It happens. Nerfs, totally get it though.
But I made up for it by winning in the most stylish ways possible at the end, where I fracturized my own Scepter of Lumina, just so I could actually put the other Lightweaver's Assault into my memory and get the max damage, because you never know. He could have a Veiling Breeze.
Well, to be fair, we saw his hands.
Yeah,
right? You had to win.
Well, you knew the deck list too. Yeah. I didn't know what he had, so like I just gonna make sure like it would definitely kill him.
It's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a great variety of decks on stream. Yeah, that was one of the best parts of the coverage for this event. The decks that were doing well were also just naturally being interesting and diverse. Yeah. Like Violet with Water Tenoris being on was awesome.
Violet is so cool.
Yeah, Violet is so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Such a role model.
And then we were talking about Jimmy's like 43 damage.
43 damage.
Dude, he was actually winning all his games. Yes. So that, like, it's not like you were like rigging it to be like, hey, let's put these weird meme decks on stream just to like entertain people. No, these were the decks that were winning.
Yes, and it does help with more players. So we had over like 200 players at Edison, Ontario. So more players means that very likely somebody playing some weird deck is making top, right? And then we could actually do both, right?
Yeah, have the surprise factor.
Yeah, showcase a good deck, but also showcase that's something that's weirder or different or something we haven't seen before. So that was, good to have done that. Also, something that happened at Ascent Ontario was PvE. So yeah, so I was I had like a quick break where I walked over to the PvE table and watched like what the PvE folks were doing. I've never seen this many people who are so excited to play like not competitive one-on-one Grand Archive.
That's so cool.
They're laughing. They're like just slapping each other like on the backside with, and then I came back later and it was game 2, but I had to ask like, is this game 1? Is game 1 still going? Because it was the same people who stayed in the same seats. And I'm like, oh crap, these guys actually stayed for game 2? This is insane. So that's how I knew right then. I was like, man, this thing is super, super hot.
Okay, for context, this was a demo of an unofficial PvE format that our friend Andrew Vinstein came up with, that they very generously allowed him to like demo as a side event for Ascent Ontario, and you had to like go to the side events table and sign up to enter pods. So the people that finished the first game went back and was like, I want to sign up again for another pod.
Oh, they had to sign up again, and then got it.
Oh, you got to get back in line.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think it's very successful. I think it offers a very different way to play the game that is also very fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
It really comes alive too with the right like narrator or boss too. So Fox, Eroy did great job. They had just like a whole story, right?
Yeah.
With their character. It wasn't just Trisket. It was like the Church of Trisket, right?
Well, Fox
that.
is like Carl and like incarnate basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's crazy. So it was really fun. Andrew, the creator of the PvE format, has released the rules.
Yes.
It's on the main court now, right?
It is on main court under content creation. His Discord handle, I think, is Sylvie's Strongest Squirrel. So look for that post.
Yeah.
And we are planning to make a learn to play video with him.
TalkGA will be doing a learn to play PvE video coming soon.
Hopefully we'll schedule that
We'll
and
schedule
get that out ASAP.
No one gets sick, so we can actually
Oh my
record
God.
it. Yeah. So at Ascent Ontario, I believe everybody from Weebs showed up. I think everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Is that the
feel like
first time that's happened? Or?
No, they were all there for Houston.
I don't think I've ever seen Tin in person. That was the
Really?
first, yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm also not like always talking to the art people too, so that's probably why.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's really special how like approachable and engaged and like in the weeds all the developers of the game, the like core team they're just like among us working with us.
Yeah, slaving away.
It's really cool that we can just like go and talk to them and like one thing is because we've all gotten to interact with the more like public facing members of the Grand Archive team.
Yeah.
Like we had our interview with Sitsukris, Silidar, Aldeus, and Nog.
Yeah.
But it was like the other team members that I hadn't really gotten to talk to as much. So I really wanted to tell Tin, the art director, how incredible the art is for Alchemical Revolution, right? So I'm really happy I got to do that.
job.
But you know what his response
Agreed.
was?
What?
The response was, Set 5 is going to be even better.
Set 5. He like skipped it. So MRC's not as good? Am I being negative? Too negative, right?
It's because they feel that MRC is already done, maybe.
Yeah,
okay.
I think
Nice.
I would assume that the timeline is that MRC is kind of already wrapped and they're working right now on Set 5.
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
It was also really nice to get to know Jimmy a little better. He's really working hard on the event.
Yeah.
And you were volunteering with him a lot, right?
Yeah, I actually spent a lot of time with Jimmy whenever I was volunteering at the Ascent store. He's a really cool guy, and he's their events coordinator. So he's behind a lot of these events that like we keep raving about. Like, he does a really good job. That was cool.
He gave me 1,000 Sylvie bucks.
You scammed him out of 1,000 Sylvie.
No, he wanted to buy my deck box. So I traded.
Yeah.
Which then I later gave that to Lee so he can get his giant
Oh
Merlin
yes,
card.
we all pooled our money together so that Lee could buy the jumbo Merlin card that costed 20,000 tickets.
It's insane.
I
don't know how, it's a lot of tickets.
It's a lot of
But
tickets.
it's a really good looking Jumbo Merlin card.
Correct, yes.
I think he was the only person that managed to pull off buying that card. They had 2 available.
Yeah, I think there was one that was awarded to the event, right? The
Side
Scrub Out
event winner.
event.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That went to Brightwing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing a picture of him getting it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay, so 2 of those cards were out. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna move on to main topics for this this episode. So ambassador program.
Oh yeah, we left
That
on
happened.
We so that happened a while back actually. It's kind of
Feels like
that.
so
We got
long
the
ago. now.
ambassador promo.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right, we got him now.
It's so out of focus, but
Well, yeah, it's part of the ambiance is that we have our little out of focus area there, but it's rest
it's here.
assured,
It's here.
It's there.
This is a real,
We know what it
this
is.
is a real banner night.
That's right. Not a fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a proxy for all you know.
We didn't
but
print
trust us. Yeah.
we just printed it blurry.
No.
That's actually how it looks.
No. Yeah. Do you think we should watch the video? Should we just?
Yeah, we're gonna roll the clip. We're gonna roll the clip of us from last episode.
What? If you have questions for TalkGA,
Oh yeah, we got one more thing.
Yes.
So just from us at Weebs of the Shore and Fome and I, I've already talked about this. We want to say thank you to both Mark and Eva. And so, coincidentally, as this event is all culminated in we do have something to give to you guys as community members and as TalkGA hosts.
One can say.
Actual?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, is this why you didn't want
Wait,
to move
what?
these boxes?
Wait,
I
what?
actually was like, we should move these boxes from underneath this
We need
table.
to move these boxes.
You can see them on camera, and you're like, no, we should just keep them there. What the fuck?
So yeah, we got you a cardboard box.
I wanted one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christmas.
Yeah, feel free to open it
The
up.
heck? Wait, what about
Yeah.
me?
So
Why me?
admittedly, Silidar like kind of put me up to this and said keep it a secret from Mark and Eva.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you should open that up.
Like,
It's confetti!
Oh, more paper. Yeah.
oh my god.
Read it.
I'm really bad at reading.
That's true. You read it. They're trading off.
Just say
Show them back.
just true.
I'm bad at reading.
I'm repeating that. Like the Korean variety shows. That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All right. Thank you so much for being part of a growing community. We deeply appreciate your faith in us to bring new product to the table. It is because of your dedication and involvement with Grand Archive, we are honored to give you, Eva, this ambassador bundle. Your enthusiasm drives us to produce only the utmost quality for our followers. With your continued support, we hope you will see how wonderfully you've shaped our community. That is, Jimmy,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Yeah,
that's-
okay. I can't read signatures very well. Yeah, Grand Archive team with the anxious Sylvie.
Yay!
How does Sylvie do this?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
our team, our team all got one.
Okay, cool.
Check if yours has a
I was gonna ask,
signature.
like, so we're just like explicitly on the
Yeah,
show,
you
like,
just get one.
Foamy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, open it up.
Hang on, fucking
So well
Awesome,
deserved
awesome.
for all
Wow,
three.
so excited.
Oh my god, there's 6 under one roof right now.
Oh, man. Got them
That's
all together.
crazy.
Wow.
Where's mine?
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Rogers
you got a
picks them up in
cardboard
production line.
Thank you so much for building
Thank
an
you.
awesome game. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a playmat.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
There's more.
Yeah, you get one
playmat
of those
too?
too.
Yeah,
Oh
massive
my
playmat.
god.
It's nice because it has the ambassador like foiled out.
Are we the region with the most
There you
ambassadors?
go.
The area with
Like
the most.
California?
California, yeah.
Wow. Look at that, yeah.
Yeah.
GA has,
Gorgeous.
out of all the playmats I've ever seen, GA has the best. The highest quality, the thickest like feel to it, the softest like texture. I don't know. Like it's Roger make a job.
Very blue, so it's on brand.
One of us. One of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Join the team, yeah.
GA also has the only playmats where people stop and ask too. I
Yeah.
noticed that.
Yes.
Like people will go, "What game is this? Where'd you get that?"
Yeah.
For sure.
So well earned.
So
All
happy
three
about
of
this.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up now. Yes. Cool. So
Cry
if you have
GA.
Tasha, even
GA.
Cry G.
Oh yeah, today's definitely tier GA.
Dude, I'm gonna wipe my tears with this playmat. Alright,
we Okay.
oh my god, so embarrassing.
It was a great moment though.
It's so natural too, yeah.
Yeah. Your reaction made it all worthwhile.
What do you mean? All I did was like froze and cried. I didn't even thank Roger until after the cameras were off. Like I didn't even say
I did it
anything.
for
Like
you.
what? Thank you for actually like having your brain on during that moment. Cause
Nah, you were just like in the moment.
oh my god, that was cool. Though. Thank you so much for the ambassador package.
Thank
We're
you, Waves.
so honored.
So
Yeah.
in our way of accepting this award, I felt like it was important for us to also share with everyone like what Grand Archive means to us, right? I think for me, like Grand Archive has helped me check off like a bucket list item. I never thought I was going to be a competitive player for any card game ever in my life, honestly.
That was your dream, though, right?
Not really like my dream. I just never thought I would even be good enough to do it.
Oh.
Right? And then I saw an opportunity with Grand Archive. I was winning enough locals that I thought, hey, maybe I could just try it and see what happens. And then I mean, maybe I shared some of this with the locals, but maybe I didn't. But I literally told Chelsea, I was like, I'm really gonna try for this game. Like I'm really gonna push myself to be better. So my goal, whenever, I think it was April when Grand Archive was released, I said I was going to try to get top 32. That was my goal for Ascent Houston. And so I pushed myself, practice, understand the card game. And then, of course, I go to regionals. Regionals was my testing ground because I didn't actually know how to play during a sanctioned event, like a real sanctioned event with judges. So I was very cautious about like calling a judge because I didn't want to be mean to people. I didn't know like whether I should let some plays go, those kind of things, right? I think these questions or nerves or uncomfortableness, every player who doesn't compete often have as well, right? Because it's like, do I be a dick about something, or like, do you do the right thing? Like, hey, but yeah, like literally making second place at that event, I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this possible? So honestly, like Ascent Houston, I didn't do as well as regionals, but like I did it. I made top 32.
You were day 2 both
top
days.
32.
Second place at SoCal Regionals. Very impressive. I've never seen you so serious about like a game before. I thought you were always like a MTG casual before.
Yep. And then like for me, just like honestly, like meeting actual devs for a game was really cool. Like I've never had like anything, like imagine like all the video games I play, I don't get to meet the developers, right? And that was really exciting to just have this kind of relationship with people who are building the game. And then I feel like honestly, all of our opinions across the board for everybody gets heard. And that's insanely like different from anything I've ever experienced in my life.
So generous.
Yeah. And the last part is like, I think it's just kind of interesting that I started like watching more anime after playing Grand Archive. I literally bought the entire Demon Slayer, like whatever, the manga. Because I'm like, okay, the show's not gonna be done for like another like 3 years, right? But I wanna know what happened. So I bought it all so I could read it. My wife is super into Demon Slayer as well. Like just channeling that inner weep. Like you didn't know this, but I actually cosplay as Zaraki Kenpachi for it during college. That was hilarious. My like Halloween.
Bleach. So GA turned Mark into a weeb.
It's true. I'm level 2 now.
Returned you back to your roots.
That's right. I'm innovate knowledge. Here we go. All right, cool. Who's next?
Eva.
What the?
Yeah, Eva. Woo!
Why?
Go. Yes.
This feels so like put on the spot.
That's what's gonna happen. Okay, I'll kick it off like this, right? Eva, like I've never met you before until Grand Archive.
Yes, that is true. I met many friends through Grand Archive, such as Mark from Solar Game.
Yeah, the most important friend. Yeah.
But like real talk, this game definitely helped like rekindle a lot of friendships.
Yeah.
Like not that they were dying, but like it definitely gave us something in common to be like really passionate about. Like for example, Cherry, I don't know if you know, I've known Cherry since I was in my senior year of high school.
What?
We met online on YouTube.
What?
We both did like singing K-pop covers. We met on YouTube and just like messaged.
K-pop?
Yeah.
I like K-pop.
I know you do, Taeyang, Mr. Taeyang over here.
Yeah.
And like, just like with the pandemic,
yeah.
We stopped hanging out as much, and like just like our interests kind of started drifting a little bit. Yeah. But then Grand Archive, like for a while, we started like hanging out every week just to play the game, and it's like, and now like we talk all the time. This card game is like healing nature.
But you also like started playing a card game. This is your first card game. That's what I remember hearing from you. When you told me about it.
Not well. Like I've tried other card games and I've played them like casually or like online, but this was my first time actually going.
You're not a casual.
It's the first time
super casual.
Eva became a sweaty grinder.
Disagreed. Disagreed. Holy shit.
That?
Are you okay? I'm gonna pull up a record right now. Eva ELO is.
It's
no, you're
good.
really good at this game. No. Don't.
Why do you guys keep saying this? And you're actually like
Eva.
you're gonna trick people into
But
thinking
you keep
that actually.
3-0ing
If you 3-0 every store,
Even,
you're not a bad player.
That's not true.
It's not true that you 3-0'd everybody at stores across Bay Area, just driving around every night of the week.
It's probably like the last 4 of the 5 like locals. Like
Eva, you're doing really well.
Or something like that.
Don't like no. Okay.
I still consider myself a bit of a casual.
Are you still scared of this game though? So scared of playing sometimes? Because you mentioned that when we first met, you're like not comfortable playing, like feel a little bit weird about it.
It's still a lot of pressure, but I actually do feel like playing this game has pushed me out of my comfort zone a lot. Because like I have a lot of performance anxiety. So like going to locals was really scary at first. Like especially because I'm a girl and just like, we can't really lie about it. Like the local game store scene is generally more male dominated.
Representation has never been good, and I feel like you're such a good role model for the community now. Really proud of like your journey on TCGs and like becoming a strong player and a confident player. It's been so cool.
You're saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, I will also add this too, which is I don't know how Fome feels, but I sometimes don't like going to LGSs either, because I don't like the scene that's there. I think Grand Archive is different, right?
Oh.
But like Magic, there's some people who are very like, they're just very, very good at the game. I'll put it that way, right? Like it's about the game, it's about winning, and it's not about like hanging out with friends. Fome's not like that. My other friend Tommy is not like that. But there are a lot of people who are 100% like, your turn. No, hold. Like I'm like, we're just trying to like, but this is not like Grand Prix. What are you doing? This is like a draft on Friday. Why are you so serious? There's people like that. So
yeah, that is true. I've definitely found the community to be really welcoming, and just like I like how silly we can get at locals with people. Like the culture, I feel like at our locals is really fun.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a wonderful community.
Okay, Fome, do you have anything you want to share?
I mean, just speaking of Magic, I reflect the opinion you have about some Magic players being extremely serious and too try hard. That may have also influenced me kind of wanting to get out of it.
Yeah.
So when we started playing Grand Archive, actually previous to that was a TO for Pioneer format at Victory Point Cafe for quite a while. And then just I fell in love with this game now. Just, all I want to do is like help work on this community. And I also, totally agree with Eva in that it's like it seems like a catalyst that has brought so many different people together and strengthened our friendships. Like we're just always hanging out and talking about Grand Archive now.
Literally talking about Grand Archive.
Whoa.
Literally right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. And one more thing I'll add is that like being able to work on video production or like doing lights, even though I'm like not good at it. I'm like a complete amateur. But
the lighting looks so nice though. If you guys could see the behind the scenes, there's like so many lights around.
It's like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having so much fun learning about this stuff. And then like looking up to people like Shinja, who's been doing a lot of content creation and then like taught us about streaming and things like that, learning that side of production. It's just been really rewarding. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna show them all the lights.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So I love being part of GA content creation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one more thing is that I feel like even just like doing this podcast has really helped me grow my confidence. And I'm glad you guys talked me into doing this because I tried to turn this down. I was like, me on a podcast, like talking is so hard. Why the fuck am I? Who will let me on a podcast called TalkGA?
Yes, thank you for doing it.
Thank you for doing it. We appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be your diversity hire. Anyway. Well, thanks for having me. Yeah. And that's part of the reason I cried so much when we got our package because it's like something that was really scary that I feel like I overcame.
Yeah. I
ended up getting like rewarded and recognized for it. It was just like burst of emotion, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about ALC, shall we? Okay. So ALC just dropped. I say just dropped, but that was a month ago. So dropped a month ago. There's a lot of stores picking up. So I know like there was did a bunch of stores drop GA because of FTC? Hey, ALC is bringing a bunch of new stores back. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's very healthy, especially in the Bay Area. NorCal, I would say, it's definitely super healthy. In addition to that, Sildar actually flew out from Houston, I believe, right, to visit the Bay Area launch scene. So he was at VPC, he was at Magitech, he probably went to a bunch of other stores I didn't know about. So yeah. But specifically at VPC, we did the starter deck tournament. So I think all three of us participated, right? Did you play? You played?
Yeah. You hosted it. Good job.
Thank you. We're gonna. By the way, if you are curious about community building and stuff like that, what I've learned is starter deck tournament is the best way, one of the best ways to build community, right? In addition to demo decks. I think some of the feedback we got from the demo deck, especially from more like franchise players of other games, was it was too simple, right? But the starter deck tournament was a much more engaging thing that both like GA players and some newer players from other card games can really latch onto easily because there's no deck building, right? You just sit down and go. So highly recommend it if you are thinking about building a community elsewhere, like try the starter deck tournament format. I think you'll really enjoy it. The three of us, I think, also just happened to also pick different decks too, right?
Oh yeah.
I was Wind Tony. You were Fire Diama, and this is Water Arsana.
Arsana, potions,
so good.
brewing, yeah.
All right, was it fun? Did you enjoy it?
That's fun.
I lost every game, but it was super fun. And every other Water Arsana player also said they lost every game, but it was also a lot of fun.
Oh, great. I had a lot of fun too. I thought Tony was very interesting.
Yeah, the turnout was pretty good. It was about 20 people.
Yeah, about 20 people showed up to our event. What about Magic Tech? How many people showed up to that event?
Oh man, like 50s?
Something crazy. It was like we filled that store. It was.
And did you guys do a starter deck tournament or?
We had everything. We had a starter deck tournament. We had an artist alley with Kani and Iroi and
you guys had regionals at Magic Tech?
Pretty much.
It was like a convention.
Whoa.
Yeah. And Cherry and Kokuhaku are the other artists.
Nice. All right. Let's talk about ALC season. So we've had a major tournament since the release of ALC. Are there any specific like meta changes, deck arc? I mean, we have like, I think it was introduced around 300 or so cards were introduced in ALC, right? Obviously powering the new champions, the Ranger, Guardian, and also the Cleric. But, were there any like meta shakeups that caught your eye with ALC? Anything that was like exciting, different?
I think for me, definitely seeing the different brews that people are coming up with for like hybrid champion brews has been super interesting. Like seeing an Arsana level up into level 2 Allen.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is this? That's crazy.
The Gathering Allen, yeah.
Yeah, and then our friend at Locals, I was playing against him, and every single game, we went to game 3, every single game he brought out a different champion. I was like, what is this deck? What? You have Rai, Merlin, and Arsana in the same material deck? I don't understand, but he had a lot of fun.
Any mechanics in ALC you're dying to try out? I mean, okay, we got one deck Eva here. It's like, oh hey, no water Lorraine. This card is cool. Skip next set.
I am trying to play Arsana full control.
Yeah.
Like land go style, counter all your shit.
Astral Seal.
Yeah. It's not going very well.
I think you need a little bit more help, but every set, a couple more counter spells, a couple more disruption cards, you'll get there. So I'm excited because I think ALC has given us other options, outs that are not the 3-deck, 4-deck meta that we had in FTC. In fact, I think a lot of people didn't really enjoy the FTC scene towards the end, especially. So but they're coming back for ALC. So I'm excited for that. I think having more meta decks out there could be actually really interesting. Yeah, still very many things to be discovered. The last thing about ALC I'll kind of cover is the market situation about ALC. So this is
bull market.
This is a By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, ALC is really hot right now. So super bullish. Pretty much every distributor I've talked to sold out right now.
Wow.
You can back order, and I think there's probably going to be a wave 2. I hope there's a wave 2 because if there's no wave 2, these boxes are way too cheap right now. But I'm sure there's a wave 2 coming soon. But until that wave 2 hits the market, like right now the cards are going up and we're going to Nats, we're going to like all these events and people need to buy a card. So the booster box is also going up. I think it's probably time to release the wave 2, honestly, if there is one out there still. I hope this is not the full inventory. But yeah, it's a pretty good market right there for ALC. And The other fun thing is a lot of DOA cards are going up too. Frostborn Paladin is like, I think the highest I saw was $14
for an uncommon.
That's right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it's, I think right now it's sitting around 12 or 8. So it's still
That's
pretty high.
nutty.
Still pretty high, yeah. I am a little bit concerned about things like Academy Guide being $50.
50? 50?
50.
It's like 40 now, but yeah, it's
To be
still a
fair,
little bit too much.
To be fair, the lowest listing does not mean that's what transacted, but the transactions were around 46, I saw at least. So a bunch of people buying like 4 copies at $46. That's $200. I think there's a number I'm not comfortable. I don't think every card should be 0, but once you get into like, oh, this deck is $1,000 for like limited, it's not that high. This deck is like, let's say $500 for constructed play. That does feel a little bit out of reach for players. I do wish, I think it doesn't help also, like, as far as I can tell, opening a lot of boxes, Academy Guide was harder to pull SR than other SRs. I don't know if that was...
They were all kind of hard to pull. I mean, because there's just so many of them.
That's true. And maybe I just, I got the wrong side of the equation, but I definitely felt like I got like, for every 1 Academy Guide I got, I would get like 4 Seasoned Showmasters, for example, or whatever other SR, right? So that was like weird. Like I had 5 or 6 Dustlight Communions, but only one Academy Guide. So something about the race didn't, again, I could just have, like, there's a dude out on the East Coast pulling like 17 Academy Guides and no Dustlight, right? It could be happening. So
yeah, random chance, things weird things like that can happen.
But again, the price is like pretty high for that card. I think just for that purpose, we should reprint some of them or whatever. I don't know. Like, I guess the cool thing is this ALC is first edition. So there is a possibility for alter if needs be. And of course, like any card that we need for people to play, if they're too inaccessible because of the price, they will show up in the alter and it'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think alter is coming for at least a few months, right?
For a while.
Yeah.
In fact, it may not come until like after set 5 or 6. Actually.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But like there's other opportunities to have cards printed though. So speaking of other opportunities, MRC was unveiled at Ascent Ontario. You excited about MRC?
Yeah, I heard some rumors that it was going to be a big set prior to the announcement. I guess people were thinking maybe it would just be like the FTC of ALC.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a little bit of an expansion to support those new classes.
Yep.
But it turns out no, it's going to be another big set and support every class, which is awesome. So let's get some more Xander action.
You mean Sylvie action?
Sylvie action. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, Sylvie action. All 7 classes are supported for MRC.
That's really exciting.
Yeah,
That's
so
really cool.
yes, Lorraine, Crux Knight,
Yay.
cards. So
Make water Lorraine Crux Knight better.
What about the Red Collection? I thought that was really interesting. This Red Collection deck.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like your K-pop idol fan box basically for a particular champion. Like you even get the matching sleeves and the matching deck box.
That's right.
It's pretty neat product.
Yeah.
Pretty innovative product, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
Did they say whether those CSRs were exclusive to the Recollection
Yes,
products?
they are. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's a little concerning for me because a lot of people bought a ton of starter decks just to chase for the starter deck CSRs. So are people gonna have to bulk buy these Recollection?
Sounds
but
like
what, like $50?
50 MSRP. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have a bunch of Sylvie cases,
Yeah.
Sylvie deck boxes.
Bunch of extra like boxes and sleeves and stuff. It's just like feels kind of excessive if you're buying that in bulk.
But if they turn out to be, well, first of all, guys, kids, don't try this at home. Don't buy like 50 boxes. Just buy the CSR. You're gonna probably pay less money. Right? That's what you buy the singles, right? Second of all, if it's anything like other card games, the deck boxes isn't really a deck box. It's more like a case, which actually could be kind of cool because we don't really have a official Grand Archive carrying case. Like Magic has a bunch of those cases, and they're really nice. You put like 800 cards or so inside. But imagine you have a bunch of these extra cases that you can just put your
You think it's gonna be like a fat pack box?
I think it's going to be more like that. I don't think it's going to be like a Parsnet or Merlin deck box.
I thought it was going to be like a legit deck box.
For $50, which includes decks, the sleeves,
you're
and
right. It can't be.
It's got to be a box, right? That's my guess.
It'll be like a nice cardboard box, probably.
Yes, it's going to be like the fat packs. You can't say fat packs anymore. They're called bundles. Actually,
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Apologize to all of our audience.
So Chris Cox is going to yell at me.
Body shame. You can't do that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yo, Tristan Shadow Dancer?
Yes.
Yo, what is that?
Yes.
What is she gonna do?
Yes.
Like what?
She looks cool.
Yeah, Umbra Assassin.
There were artwork shows like more than one Tristan on it too.
Yeah.
Wonder if.
So what if she can make tokens of herself?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Whoa,
We didn't even talk about this, but that's exactly what I was. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's gonna make a bunch of Tristan champions or whatever token ally Tristan.
Interesting.
Yeah, token ally Tristan, unique. Maybe not.
And
unique.
then when they hit you,
Oh, they can't be
they
unique.
turn into a curse on your opponent's lineage.
When they die or something. Yeah.
Oh.
Or if they hit, banish it, it turns into a curse.
I can see that.
Omni slash. Okay, cool. So excited about this. There is also one CUR in this set. So, like, yeah, for the people who think this is going to be FTC 2.0, it's not. Like, first of all, more cards. Like, I think it's doubled FTC card
It's
size.
like 200 and some cards.
Yeah.
Whereas FTC was like 90 cards.
Yeah, there's one CUR. So, from a financial perspective, they're boosting the box. They're really trying to make sure this thing does not, there's no FTC 2.0 situation here. There's a CUR. I don't know what the denominator of it is, but it could be another 70 card CUR. Unique signature serialized cards.
Oh, what if it's just like a Grand Crusaders ring CUR?
Oh my god, that would be so expensive.
So hyped, dude.
Super expensive.
Get it. So speaking of new products, there was another new product that was released, but I don't actually know a lot about it. This is the whole like Taiwan collab. I only saw a picture.
Yeah, you've seen the cards, right?
And I saw like one card that
Oh.
Fome was asking me to do a translation on it, so I translated.
Oh.
This is what was it? Would Resolute stand? There was the
I don't
girl who's
remember.
like singing. It's like this.
That's Resolute
That's
Stand.
okay.
yeah.
And then she
Mic
said,
stand, that's
she
cool.
says, I think what does she say? Something about like this is not sunlight burning you or something. you're getting a sunburn from. I guess she's the shining star. Is that what the? I don't know.
This
I
Chinese
don't get
flavor
it.
text is a little bit weird.
I don't get
Like-
it. Man. I don't. But I guess the so this is like, is this like anime or what's going on?
Oh boy, we're introducing Mark to the wonderful world of VTubers.
Oh,
I mean, I know about VTubing in general, but like, so this is not anime.
Technically, no, but it's still anime style, obviously.
Okay, sus.
Okay.
Okay.
You explain.
Oh, all right. So this is Grand Archive's very first collaboration within like an external IP. They collabed with a Taiwanese VTuber agency called Square Live, and they released these special alternate art cards of existing cards for like a few days at a convention in Taiwan, where if you bought products from Square Live's booth, you would get packs in addition.
Oh, okay.
For the
Bonus
Super
packs.
Simps, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
I saw there was another artwork of the set that I was a little bit disappointed. It's not disappointing.
Oh, I mean,
controversial.
I think I know what you're talking
Controversial.
about. Yeah, it caused quite a stir.
Yeah, I think this entire thing has
It was
been pretty
a bit
controversial in the
dangerous.
community.
Yes.
Of the increasing variety.
Correct. Yes.
I don't know. I don't particularly
Wait,
care.
so
personally.
that card, is that an artwork of a liver? A
Yes,
VTuber?
yes. So each card is a different VTuber talent in that agency. And oh, wait, one really interesting thing is that we heard this from Roger, and I like specifically when he told me this when he told us this, I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
If we talk about this on TalkGA, can I mention this? And then he gave the okay. Like we're not just like spilling things that he tells us in confidence. Just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, you're not leaking.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he told us that the talents themselves actually had a ton of creative control over the cards. And he said that the talent in the Increasing Danger card actually drew the sketch that
for the card.
the card was based on.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it was like, make me pose like this, please.
yeah, I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I heard that there were some like back and forth revisions, and they had to actually tone it down or something like that.
That card specifically, or all the cards?
Maybe not that card specifically, but
Some
like
other
there were.
cards.
I think there were cases in which card arts had to be adjusted for the GA audience to make it GA audience appropriate.
Okay.
And it's still a little debatable whether it's GA audience appropriate, but
I mean, this is so I know what I stepped into when I like initially, right? This game, I was like, it's like anime art. It's kind of like, whatever. And I know with anime art, you get a little like lewd territory, whatever, right? And this product specifically, I think when I saw the increasing danger, I was like, okay, this is getting a little like too much. As in like, my philosophy on everything is like this, right? You can collect whatever you want. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. But like, if I have to play against this, and this is like now part of like, I have to interface or interact with it, it detriments maybe my experience differently, right? So I don't care if you have this at home and it's like a illegal card, fine. You have it in your binder, you want to show it off to your friends, fine. But like, if I have to interact with it, and like, I don't know, maybe I'm being very like, so yeah, hey, weebs, cancel me now, I guess. But like, maybe I'm speaking for some other Grand Archive players,
I think
who are more
like
about the gameplay, the competitive,
agree.
and just it's getting a little bit like, is this what GA is going to be? I think that the signal is like, is this what GA is going to be? The beginning of it, right? Do we get like, I don't know, even more lewd cards, right? And I think like, you know,
Yeah, but it's like, personally to me though, those cards are no more lewd than stuff we already have.
What
Like,
card is bad?
There's like your favorite Shield Maiden card. There's like, you know, stuff where like it's very like shows a lot of skin, you know, Highwayman, Bushwagger. But yeah, so when I look at, you know, the Square Live cards, I think they look like pretty cool. They're probably like, you know, clearly a lot of effort went into the production, especially if the livers themselves had input into the creative design.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, if I'm in a similar boat as you, is like when I sit down at a table and I expect to see like, this is the world I'm in right now, and then you put something else down, it's like very immersion breaking.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to play Grand Archive, not to like, I'm like, oh no, I'm actually playing against this VTuber now. Like,
do you feel the same about like the official? These are official too, but like, you know, the weebs created alternate arts. Like Creative Shock is a good example, right? I think she like shopping, if I remember correctly, something like that.
That's not the one that's shopping. I forget.
Talk about Frostbind.
Frostbind,
Diana
shopping,
and
like hanging out.
Creative Shock, but these are like modern clothes, right?
Yeah.
And then like the Xander one too, right? I forgot what the card
I
was.
think
Anime North.
Yeah, it's true. It's also a little bit immersion breaking, but it has less of like selling out, the vibe of selling out. Even though I'm not saying this is a sellout necessarily, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the game, and that this cross promotion with another audience is worth it. Like the pros outweigh the cons probably. And you know, like same as you, like if you want to enjoy the game like in a particular way, who am I to stop you? It's a very niche audience too. So like the amount of times I'm gonna probably be looking at them is like very little.
I was actually gonna make the counter argument of like, Mark, you've been playing GA a lot. How often do you see Water Sylvie cards?
Yeah, but it's an increasing danger. I'm gonna see a lot of increasing danger, okay?
Yeah.
If they printed like Sink into Oblivion, hey, you know.
It's like, what's that?
Right. What card? What does that do, right?
So I think it's as long as they still primarily focus on their own IP. It's like the vast majority of the cards is like in world. Then I'm fine with tolerating a little bit of, you know, like fun diversions once in a while. I just don't want it to be like, oh my god, now we're Marvel and now we're, you know, like Fortnite.
Things that don't make sense.
Shouldn't.
I mean, and that's the really good point. Like I think you guys telling me about like the livers having direct input on the card, that actually makes my opinion like actually different about this.
Right?
Yes,
it actually changed my opinion a little bit too about it.
It depends. Like, I mean, I don't know how else they would have done this, but like it's different if like I'm like, oh, this liver, she's super sexy. Let me draw her this way, compromising position. All right, right, and then sell the cards. You know what I mean? Versus
it
like,
feels different.
Yeah, like if I'm like, hey, this is all what I'm about. Like if there was a card of me where I'm like scamming people, totally fine, right? But imagine somebody drew that of me. I'm like, I'm not okay with that, right? That makes a huge difference. Okay, please don't draw a card of me scamming people. That's really bad PR. I don't want that on my to be right. Like, but I kind of get that. The other thing I think is really interesting, and this is where like in one stroke, like one collab that GA as a small company run by 7.5 people have done that Magic has been trying to do for like the last 2 years have failed at is like GA understands the audience. GA's collab is not random. Imagine if GA's collab was like, also Witcher is now in GA. You know what You're like, what the why, right? Versus like this, which is look, I don't understand VTubing, I don't understand this world, right? But I understand that a lot of GA players do understand this and they like it.
Yeah.
So that collab makes 100% more sense than like what I said before, Witcher and Grand Archive.
There's synergy in there.
There's huge synergy.
Like, we definitely can't ignore the fact that, okay, well, it is made for a very specific target audience.
Yeah.
Like, the cards are literally printed with Chinese text. It was literally only distributed for a few days at one convention in Taiwan.
Yep.
Where you could only get it by buying the products of the Square Live booth. So it's like, we can't ignore that, how strong the Taiwan community has been in that market.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, they're like huge showing at regionals with 87 players. Wow. It's like really, it's exploding in Taiwan.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's kind of a cool opportunity. And I haven't gotten to this point. So I do want to kind of like put my position out there where like, I actually agree with you where I personally don't like these cards very much.
Yeah.
I'm also not super into VTuber culture. So I don't believe that I'm part of the target audience for this, but I'm also okay with the fact that the target audience exists out there, even if I'm not in it.
Yeah.
And they seem to be enjoying it. Like, it's kind of a fun little publicity stunt that they did at that convention.
The fact that like GA as a company is like trying different things to grow it, I think it's commendable, right? I think I would just say like there is a point that you have to balance, because I think Magic is feeling this right now, which is it worth it to lose your old audience for your new audience, right? And it's no one knows the answers to that question because we're not like, we don't have a time machine. And I would just caution weebs as well that think about that perspective, because there's nothing that you can do that will make everyone happy.
Yeah.
But you have to do things that will try to maximize happiness across the board. So is there a time when you do this too much and then some people just leave because of it? That's what I would caution against.
Well, they should do stuff that they enjoy. They want like their own personal vision in the game. Because like, what is the old audience right now? The game's only been out for a year.
Sure.
Or a little bit less than a year.
Sure.
So I guess right now is the period where GA is defining what it wants to be about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Cool. Okay, as promised, we do have some questions for viewers. So if you would like to ask us a question, please go ahead and email talkgapodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment in this video with #TalkGA, and then we'll get to your question live on the show.
And hopefully not months later.
Hopefully not a month later. First question is from Machaf or Jordan. The question is, what element do you think a pure lineage Sylvie should be using to win a decent amount of games?
Oh, wow.
Very opportunistic. I mean, I know this question was asked a month ago, but I mean, is Jordan a fortune teller? Because he basically read out what the problem at Ascent Ontario. Nobody ran a Sylvie because they didn't understand the answer to this question. Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvie's struggling right now.
Yep.
I think the closest, best success people had were like Fire Sylvie, with like the Virtus combo, was maybe the most like explosive.
The Exodia.
The Exodia squirrels.
Yeah. I think Wind actually has. I mean, the ape is no joke either. So
sure, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I think there are a lot of Sylvie decks out there, actually. Water is also very viable. The problem is just that, actually, there was a water deck that... Jeff, come on, man. So Jeff S. was going to run a water Sylvie deck, and I was going to feature him round 1 at Ascent Ontario. He showed up as a volunteer and said he can't play. Yeah, but hopefully we'll see this deck eventually. But it was actually kind of interesting, very different. Ran some cards. I'm not going to spoil the deck. Ran some cards that I've not seen anyone play. Period. So I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But yeah, I think every element is viable. I think the problem is Sylvie is about 1 to 2 turns too late. So in a very fast-paced meta, we saw with Xander, like I think Sean says he finished every game or every round within like 15, 20 minutes. In a very fast meta, how do you run a slow deck? And I don't know. Like FTC was supposed to slow things down. It didn't really. ALC shouldn't have changed the speed, but it actually sped it up a little bit. So I wonder if we're in a spot where Sylvie may never see light of day because it's a little bit too slow, right? So I'm hoping for Slime Sovereign. Maybe there are other Proxius Vault cards that can help here too, right? They're like tamer only cards type of thing that like are just like, imagine if Sylvie got a Avarice. Probably changed a lot, right? Anything else you want to add on this question, Sylvie?
I wish I had the answers to this question.
She doesn't play Sylvie. Maybe you should play some Sylvie, then you'll be an expert on Sylvie. Good. All right. Second question is from main deck Dan himself. Whoa. TalkGA, what do you think Weebs of the Shore can do to help further stimulate the growth of the game? We kind of talked about that a little bit already. So far, of all the Kickstarter TCGs, Grand Archive has done the best job at transitioning to a standard release model while maintaining product value and establishing a successful OP circuit, organized play circuit. They've done a lot right. So what do you think are the next steps to further grow the game and build on those foundations? Pretty good question, actually. Good question. Who wants to take this one?
I can start. I think supporting casual play in the form of PvE would be a great, a great addition.
Yes.
Because every card game is made of like hardcore spike players, but it also has a lot of casual players who just want to go and chill with their friends and not feel like they're getting their faces beat in every time.
Yeah.
I think it's really great timing. You know that Vinstein has been testing this PvE format, that they highlighted it at Ascent Ontario. I think if this takes off and more people start playing it, I think it'll grow the community in a really big way.
Yeah. I think Omnidex has already done a lot to help.
Yes,
I think
definitely
having that like holistic, everybody's part of the same community feel. A lot of card games, you kind of know the pros because they top like, events. But you have to watch the event, you have to go to the event, like you have to know them. But Omnidex, you can just look it up, like, oh, this guy's number one right now. Who is he? And go on like main chord at blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's this guy, I know him. Like that linkage is really cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm really pleasantly surprised to see the impact that Omnidex has had. I actually kind of was a little worried that it would kind of deter the more casual players or like the more fun brew, try silly things type players. Because like now there's stakes now. I thought people would start taking things a bit more seriously, be more like, sharky. Because it's like my points, my elo on the line. But actually, my starships. Like I even thought that it would make me feel more pressured when I go to locals.
Yeah.
But so far, it's been great. Like, it's made people actually more excited to show up. They're like, yeah, we can farm some points.
You keep taking everyone else's elo now.
What are you talking? Like, I'm not casual.
Let's check Eva's ranking right now. Top 100.
I'm like, I'm not gonna say.
The fact that she knows her rank.
It hasn't really made people like seem more jerky, sweaty than we expected.
Because the weighting is done really well. Our local events they're ranked, but they're not that great. If you really want to farm points, you have to show up to regionals, store championships, Ascents. Those are the huge farm. Like, I think didn't Christian was the first player to get Ascendant, right?
Yes.
And he did it through the Ascent. He didn't do it from farming locals, right?
But he's also like a terrifying player.
Yeah.
So you get matched up against him and you see on your Omnidex is like, this guy's like crazy high elo, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Mark from Solar Games, how do we grow Grand Archive?
How do we grow Grand Archive? Think of new creative ways. I mean, so again, like Andrew, our friend Andrew, invented PvE. Starter deck tournaments, really good idea. Demo decks. Just think of new ideas, new ways to do fun things. Maybe there's another, I don't know, PvE or format out there. Maybe 2v2, two-headed giants. I don't know. There's actually a lot of other card games we can look towards and just say like, hey, what are those card games doing? Can we try that here, right? So I think we're gonna have 3v3 at Ascent Worlds. It's gonna be very similar to like the 1v1, but like a little bit team play, a little bit sharing like deck pool, card pool. But it's, like those kind of things I think will be interesting. That's how you grow, because you're trying to reach every audience. The other part of it we already talked about, because I think GA actually sits in a really, really weird niche. A lot of people think, I actually had the opportunity to speak with a Whatnot representative recently, And I just asked him like, hey, so you run the TCG program at Whatnot. Like, what do you see with all the different TCGs you guys run? Like, he was like, yeah, so Magic is well known for it being a card game. So people want to see content about card game, like how you play. But Pokemon, for example, is all about pack cracking. So nobody really actually, fewer people play Pokemon for the game. A lot of their fan base, which is actually sometimes I would say bigger than Magic, because there's a lot of kids involved, are all about opening packs with their kids, opening packs on stream. That's their draw, right? So GA actually has both, because we have very exciting packs to open with CUR, CSRs, and the game plays really good. That's a really good foundation that we can just keep building on. Make sure both sides of that is being fed well, and that should help.
You know what's something I would really like to see more is more online low stakes casual tournaments.
Yeah.
Just for like the people that kind of want to play casually, wish they could go to locals and have that like more relaxed environment. Because I would say like right now there's like Yeti tournaments, there's like case tournaments, they're like really big online events where highly competitive people show up. And I would say that for kind of more casual people like me, it's kind of intimidating to join stuff like that. So I think a lot of people might want a more casual type of online way to play. I know Red Zone Rogue is doing a starter deck tournament online.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good starting point.
Yeah.
Something else is I feel like this game is a little bit gate kept. And that's in part because like the team is so small. It's actually really cool how much this game has grown, like from a TCG, or not a TCG, from Kickstarter project, and it's like the small company that we haven't heard of before. The amount that they've grown this game is actually really impressive.
Yeah.
But for sure, a lot of things feel like they're kind of locked behind a gate. Like certain things you don't really find out about unless you're on the Discord. Unless you're like, you have the notifications on.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure a lot of these things they're already working on, and I'm sure a lot of them they already know about. Like the newsletter that they've been advertising on their website where you can sign up, put in your email for a newsletter, and there is actually no newsletter that goes out. Like something like that could definitely like improve communications, improve just like the visibility of the game and all the things that are going on within it.
If only we can do a daily episode of TalkGA where we can cover
God.
the news.
Yeah, like
Guys, sign up for your Omni decks today.
yeah,
right? Like
GA TV.
I missed that. Yeah, GA TV. It's 24/7 talk about GA.
For sure the information dissemination is. I mean, I think they're doing a good job of it. It's just that it's so complex overall. Like, how do you quickly explain the OP system? How do you quickly explain Proxius Vault?
Yeah.
No other game does this.
Yeah.
So like when you're like, oh yeah, new Proxius Vault's announced today, people are like,
What is that?
Like, yeah. So it's just like, how do you cover so much ground in a digestible format? I don't know the answer.
It's tricky, but it does sound like they're putting a lot more effort into their marketing right now. So I think it's gonna be good going forward. Another thing about the marketing is I actually feel like the IP that they made for Grand Archive is so strong. It's like they've made all these characters in this world that we all care about. Like I don't personally care that much about Sylvie as a character, but they released the Sylvie beanie. Hell yeah, I'm buying that. Like the brand loyalty that people have for GA, the devotion that we have to it's so immersive. It's so even the visual designs of the characters are so compelling.
The visuals
I feel like they totally could push that further to help get more visibility for the game.
Fanfic?
Like,
what do you mean? Fanfic? Like what kind of, how do you push the IP?
Yeah, like I feel like the launch kit that they did for ALC was brilliant. The fact that they included Diana posters in every launch kit that they sent to every LGS. Such a good idea. Like, have the LGSs put up the posters. The posters look super nice. The character looks super nice. It's gonna make people
ask, what is that game?
Curious about what the game is. It's gonna make people remember the name Grand Archive and associate it with having nice anime art. That like even small things like that, I feel like are gonna help with just making Grand Archive into more of a household name, which is kind of what we want, right?
Yeah. And they can't piggyback off something else. Like One Piece has One Piece has a long ass running anime and manga. So they have IP power because it exists. There's no work you need to do for it. Grand Archive is building a brand new IP. It's really hard. So yeah, but I think you're right. Like, because it has all the good foundations of it,
Totally.
making it more relevant, making it more maybe intertwined with the game would make it like better too. I think people like looking and figuring out like why is this character secretly this person, whatever. I think Roy had a question about like Parsonet and like, is this actually Merlin? I forgot the question, right? But like these like really deep lore questions. Yeah, like that's, I think, what makes it kind of really fun for the community. I totally agree with that, actually. I think that's really strong. And it's, again, one of these angles that maybe not everyone sees, but it's actually, once you explain it to me, I totally get it now. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, make Sylvie the new Pikachu.
I mean, she is on the fans, and my daughter loves Sylvie. Like, she really likes the artwork of Sylvie, yeah. So, okay, cool. So I think that's gonna be it for episode 6.
Yeah,
any final words? It's a long episode,
sorry.
for sure.
A lot to catch up on.
Hey, hopefully you enjoyed it, but remember, stay classy.
Stay classy.
We're ending it? Okay, stay classy.
Stay classy. I'm your host, Mark from Solar Games, and joining me are my usual co-hosts, Mark.
Mark 2 and Mark 3.
Damn it. All right.
Why do we have outtakes for like every intro?
I'm not trying to do that.